Our heroes are being absolutely haunted by the past, and it's not even their past. Be the lone survivor of your dreams on this week's episode of Mercenaries in Retrograde.
You all kind of get separated in this whirlwind of blood. And so we're gonna start with Celeste.
Oh, I hate when you start with me. You know that I hate when you start with me.
Yeah, you see as this scene begins to take shape in front of you.
I do. Can I say a thing that happens though?
Yes.
If we're all getting like split apart, I absolutely as we're all like being swept away, yell out Luna, and then I like reach for her, and then I can't get her.
Oh, yeah.
We're all swept apart.
You're all
But
swept apart.
I did yell for her.
You felt her fingertips brush against yours as you both are torn in different directions. You see as before you're still kind of like in like the rolling tumble of being caught in like a riptide. But you see like as in front of you this opening kind of shifts to show you a memory, and you see this scene play out. It's completely in red monotone. It looks like it is made of the blood that you have summoned here. And you see Irvin, and you don't see what happened before this, but you see Irvin is weeping as he holds on to a corpse in his arms. He is covered in blood, and you see like the blood on him is slowly starting to absorb into his skin as tears roll down his cheeks. And you see he takes gentle care of this body, and he places his hands against their chest and whispers a silent prayer to the forgotten goddess. And his hands are shaking as his eyes lift to meet the various other casualties of this meltdown. All of the previous memories of the horrors that he has caused fill his brain. You can see in his eyes, he sees the accidents, the violence, the inability to function after, and they all lead back to the first one. Irvin staring at his own fleshy corpse. He stutters, and a few other members of the organization begin to arrive, whispering to each other as they clean up his mess. He didn't mean to do any of this. Any of this. They barely speak a word to him as they help him to his feet and lead him off to an empty room. You are stuck with him in this empty room as the doors close behind him, and you can hear faint jokes of a factory reset as the memory fades once more.
Did he kill his creator? Did he murder?
Algernon.
Shut up.
Ah, shit. Here we go again.
You are in what seems to look like a laboratory, only it seems a lot more technology-based than magic-based, like you're used to in the modern age. You watch as a man who looks like Irvin is speaking to a figure who is nothing but a silhouette. They're both standing over this operation table, and you can make out shapes on it, but you can't necessarily tell exactly what it is. You see, this is where I believe everyone else has failed. They treated each prophet as an object, but objects do not carry the weight of life. As he speaks, the view of this scene shifts, and you're above the operating table, and you can see what looks to be carved pieces of a beautiful crystal. The hues of red ripple across its surface, like attempting to mimic the colors you saw earlier when Irvin revealed his true skin to you. The shapes mimic that of a doll, like an unformed, there's no like face, it's just a mannequin. And you watch as Irvin takes an object in both of his hands and squeezes tightly, He lets out a sharp inhale of pain as blood begins to seep out of his palms. Life. Life needs sacrifice. It needs pain. It needs the warmth of blood. And he wastes no time as he covers each inch of the pieces before him in his own blood. And as he does so, it seems to seep into this crystal. It glows with an intensity of magic that you've never seen before. Even the soft glow that he emitted earlier is nothing compared to this. You watch as that Irvin molds this pure arcane energy around this doll, and it slowly takes his shape. And you watch as the scene comes to a close. The blood around starts to slowly slough off until it's just the doctor and his identical creation. And the last thing you see is the creature opening his eyes as you hear the doctor say, "Let's get you some clothes, Irvin." Simmon.
I'm transcribing the plot of Carrie into my notes, by the way. Because of you, I'm just transcribing the plot of Carrie. And you did this. This is your fault, and I hate you.
There is a faint sound of a rushing waterfall somewhere in the distance. But there's also this soft drip, drip, drip. And you see a wide shot of an inside of a very well-lit cave. There's countless of bodies and a stalemate directly in the middle of it. Irvin is standing above a half-orc individual with a shadowy blade aimed towards them. The drip of thick, silvery white, arcane-rich blood rolls off of his collarbone and onto the floor. There's hatred in Irvin's eyes, something you've never seen before. But there is also fear that you can sense in his magic, and a deep roaring in his mind. In this moment of hesitation, the individual speaks life into the ground around them, channeling energy from the blood Irvin has spilt to create vines to push him back to protect themselves. We see as Irvin stumbles back, Piers finally breaking free from his anchor as he takes off running deep into the woods, afraid of the monster that he was. I need 2 more people to roll a d6. Actually, I need all of you to roll a d6. There's 2 more scenes.
I think these notes need to be put on the Tumblr, if not the Instagram.
2?
5.
All right.
I also got a 5.
Oh, and you guys can see it together when we get
Oh my
there.
god.
Why do I have to be alone?
Well, because you rolled 2.
Fuck you.
That's
Oh,
what you
this
get
is
for rolling
actually
2.
this is a perfect memory for you to have after the last one you just had. The scene before you takes place within an office of some sort. There are 2 desks, and the floor is littered with blueprints, notes, open books with torn out pages, which, despite the red hue of this, you're able to make out are splattered in blood. It looks as though a struggle has just ended. The first thing that you're able to make out is Irvin. He is covered in blood and he is slumped up against a bookshelf. His hands are shaking and he's gripping tightly to a pen, one that's oddly familiar. He still carries it around to this day. You actually saw him flipping it earlier today. And both the pen and his hands are covered in blood. He's staring horrified at this desk, and you're able to make out a body lying lifeless on top of it. It's still bleeding. Amount of time passes as you watch the blood slowly seep into his skin like nothing was ever there in the first place. He wasn't wearing any clothes. If he wasn't wearing any clothes, you wouldn't have even noticed he had done it. You're unsure of how long Irvin sits there in this catatonic state, but he slowly starts to move again. As he approaches the body, staring down at his own lifeless eyes, a rush of emotion fills him, and his skin shimmers with the glow of intense magic. He lets out this scream of utter anguish as he grips onto his head, the magic within him threatening to boil over. I am my own man! Get out! Get out! Get out! The memory is drowned by light, and even in this state, you can feel the raw energy that accompanies it. When the light dissipates, Irvin is alone in this room, and he looks confused. He doesn't seem to remember how he got here.
I'm so sorry I ever doubted him. He's traumatized.
Max said, Lark, I'm gonna make you regret.
It's so
Actually, I never regret. I will never regret being suspicious.
I didn't say shit. I didn't say shit. The dice said, Lark, this is what you should see.
Well, fuck the dice. The dice hate me. Go do the rest of your little scenes. Word picture man.
Gay boy.
Actually, I lied. There's one more, so I'm gonna give the last one to Simmon, but I'm gonna give this one to Irvin. Not Irvin. Algernon.
Algernon is Irvin confirmed? Crazy.
That would be the craziest self-says.
Self-says.
Anyway. Algernon, you watch as there's a group of heavily armored individuals walking across a barren landscape. The surrounding area is unrecognizable. Most of the vegetation has been eradicated, and there are scars of intense arcane magics across the soil. It looks like there was a massive crack along the surface of this plain, and you see as one of the individuals steps out of this rank to look at something. You notice this individual is smaller than the rest. They seem to have different gear as well, a researcher of sort. As you see them bend down, you notice that it is indeed Irvin. He has a small little notebook in his hand that you recognize, and he's taking notes with it. There seems to be this abnormal patch of flowering vegetation that he starts to look through. He takes off his gloves to touch the soil that they're growing from, and he pulls back his hand, and it's wet with blood. He pauses and looks up and notices that there are various patches of these same flowers, and they're all growing from corpses. Simmon, you see a lab settings. You see Irvin gripping tightly to a book of lab notes. This lab looks familiar. Something you're more used to, only it looks like a first draft of something you would see today. He's slipping through this book, pacing back and forth through this lab area. There's a rage that is boiling up inside of him, and a realization that comes with it. His eyes glow faintly, as they do, a faint alarm system begins to go off across the entire building. They do little to nothing to stop him as he continues to glow, strolling through this building, knocking down doors and arcane locks with ease. The energy and the anger is so intense that you can feel it in you through the memory. The alarms are blaring as guards attempt to stop him, but they do little to even slow his movements. And each guard adds to the fuel of this fire. By the time he reaches where he is headed, he's almost covered in blood. But as he pushes open the door and crosses the threshold, he's slowed to a halt, his body ceasing to function. Your rage is consuming. It's unfortunate it had to come to this, but I cannot have a time bomb roaming the halls any longer. Have fun in Oblivion's Island. You're nothing but a necromancer's failed will. And as this memory fades to nothingness, this nothingness fills your own chest with a sense of dread. And it continues to fill you. And for a moment, you feel fear of staying here forever, stuck in this state of conscious but unconscious. And then the wave of blood consumes you once more, freeing you. And as all of you come to an end of all of these scenes that flash in front of you, you are battered across the floor, covered in your own blood. Not your own blood, but your own memories of blood, reeling on the floor of Irvin's Mind Palace.
Is Luna here? Is she okay?
Yes, it's here. You see she's kind of like wiping the blood off of her face as she kind of like tries to like come back to after seeing the horrors that she witnessed.
Yeah, look, I don't have a specific spell about it, but I feel like I should be able to like get the blood off of her.
Yeah.
Because I'll go to her and just make sure like she's okay. And not covered in blood as much as possible.
Yeah, she's kind of shaken, but she's okay. She's okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
That man is fucked up.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Oh, this
Okay.
poor man.
I guess. Do we just go back to sleep now, and then wake up again? I'm not quite sure how we
I don't.
do this, but also I'd
I'm not-
rather be awake before we kind of compare notes, because I would like to not be in here anymore.
Irvin, can you hear us? We're in your brain.
Ding 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 ding.
Can you get us out?
I'm tapping on it like a fucking fish tank, like bing 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 bing
Bing,
bing
bing,
bing
bing,
bing
bing,
bing
bing,
bing
bing,
bing. Evan!
Make a I don't know, a
can I
fucking
cast
check.
message from within here?
You can cast,
Whoa!
yeah, you can cast message. That would be more effective.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast a message. And just go.
I can plane shift us out of his brain.
I don't think this is a plane.
It
Like,
could be.
Irvin, can you wake us up? We're ready to come out and compare notes.
Yeah,
Heart.
as you send that message off, you actually see it ripples through his mind. And you can see like the faintest, like almost like electrical current synapses go off as you see like the message kind of relay through his brain.
Normal.
And you actually hear Algernon's voice like echoing through his brain. Yeah, it's really cool. And as that
crazy.
happens, you all kind of slowly are taken out of his dream as he wakes you all up.
All right.
Hi.
Hi,
Hello,
Irvin.
darling.
How are you feeling, buddy?
No, I was
Did
really
you see any
concentrated
of that?
on making sure that I could keep you guys in a safe space.
Good. It's really
Cool.
good. Wants to go first?
I think this is a moment where we
I
say
can
we
go
just
first.
I
explain.
feel like we can. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we explain
Oh,
it.
yes,
No, hold on.
please.
I think I should read out my notes.
Yeah, Simmon?
Please do.
I'm going to do this in a dramatic reading style and let my voice let you know when I am writing in capitals.
Incredible, beautiful. Please continue.
Yeah. Tech laboratory. Scientist Irvin with Igor. Autism. Autopsy crystal. An operating table. The things. Life requires sacrifice. Molded from his father's blood. Motherhood. Violence of birth. Sacrifice. Blood. Bodies. Hatred and fear. Seeking life in. To ground. Birthing vines. Afraid of himself. Office. 2 desks. Blueprints. Bloodstains. Books. A struggle. Irvin with his pen slumped against. Oh my god, he killed his creator with his pen! Green boiling magic. I am my own man! Factory reset.
I didn't like the factory reset part. I did not.
All my
like
homies
that
hate
part.
it.
Why not? Why not?
And then the rest is just normal, but
I think we got it.
No, I think we kind of get the. We all kind
Yeah,
of.
I think we got all the main points.
Does
We
Luna
got all
have
the main
anything
points.
interesting to share with us?
She gives you 2 memories that are kind of similar to the factory reset one you saw. And another one that's kind of more of like a wartime memory, like what
Gotcha.
Algernon
Okay.
saw. Yeah, nothing of like particular note, but like obvious, like this man has been surrounded by blood his whole life.
There's like a lot of blood stuff happening.
There's like a lot of blood.
A lot of blood.
Anyway, so we all share our little stories, and I would like to keep an eye on Irvin the whole time because I am both
Me too.
concerned about his well-being and also afraid that he might kind of, like snap and
kill us?
kill us all inside the tiny. So I'm concerned about both things, that he is feeling well and also that he's not on the brink of absolutely losing
I do offer a calm emotions if needed.
Yeah, you should do that.
Algernon is playing a very comforting
shock
lullaby
blanket.
on his fiddle.
Give him a granola bar?
He eats it.
Want some water?
Lord. That's a lot. I'm so sorry that you had to see all that.
I'm so sorry you had to experience all of that.
But
Yeah.
That's a lot for any person.
What I'm sort of wondering is, now what? I mean, we have all this information, but where do we go from here?
Therapy.
Well, yes, therapy.
yeah.
Irvin, do you have a therapist? Because I could recommend someone who is so lovely.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have one.
Okay, I send a
was
text
gonna
to
try
my
and save the
therapist,
world, but...
just to let her know that I've got a friend who could be of use of her services. And then I send Irvin's phone number to my therapist directly, and just ask her to, like, get in touch. So I'm just like, you know what, Irvin, don't even worry about it, because honestly, the, like, startup process can be kind of a lot, so she'll reach out to you. Don't even worry about it. Anyway, besides therapy.
Yeah, that's good. Well, so obviously, I think we need to find the member of the Hawk that's still alive.
Yeah.
So I think that we won't get much. I haven't done as much research as I wanted to about, this place and the magic that hold up, the bedrock of Nithalon to let it float. But I think, obviously, it's just another symptom of the instability. I don't know how much you can help if we go to the council. I think the best they're gonna do is just give you money. And I mean, it's good to have, but that's another day, maybe potentially a few days that we would have to wait before you track down this individual.
And we don't have time for that.
I don't think we have much time, no. So, here's the thing. I'm made from a powerful artifact.
Mm-hmm.
My body is very useful. So, if you need me as a conduit, I am more than willing to do that.
I was gonna say,
comfortable with that personally. I think.
Look, it's not ideal, and I agree I would like to avoid it at most costs. However, I appreciate knowing that we have your okay if we are in a situation in which there is no other option.
Yeah. You all make an insight check.
I'd love to make an insight
I
check.
would love to.
Huh.
Ooh, am I insightful? I can't remember.
I'm not. That's an 8.
Oh, I am.
Insight 14.
27, an 8, and a 14. Then 8, he's obviously shocked. Like, there's no low. You'd have to roll a 1 for you to get so low that you don't see that this man is reeling from revelations. With the 14, it looks like he is reeling, but there's like this, kind of like a confirmation in him of he knew that's probably what was missing. Celeste, you were looking at him, and you've been traveling with the boys. You can detect the self-hatred from a mile away at this point.
Yeah.
But you can also detect there is another layer of this self-hatred, this confirmation of the information he just learned, and this shock. And he's slowly coming to terms, and you kind of see that the shock is a little double-sided, because he's starting to make a decision that he is willing to sacrifice himself for this if he has to, and he's kind of living with the fact that he is willing to die.
Yeah.
And that's what you were able to get with the boy's tongue. And you can do with that what you will.
I think Celeste clocks this, notes it, and does not want to alarm the boys. Because she doesn't want Irvin to die. Of course she doesn't. But she knows that telling them this or being like, hey, Irvin, don't sacrifice yourself is just going to kind of rile everybody up a little bit. So I think she just clocks it, notes it, and will circle back to it at another time.
I eat my fucking words. I rolled for Luna to see if she caught any of that.
Ooh, yeah.
That is my goal. Luna.
Luna.
No. There you go. I love her too.
If Luna clocks it, do I clock that Luna clocks it?
With your high insight, yeah.
28 or 27 or whatever.
Okay, yeah. She clocks a little bit of it. I don't think she comes to the same exact conclusion that he's willing to die, but I think she sees the gears turning of his plan to make his death meeting.
Okay.
And you guys kind of side eye each other a little bit, do that, knowing, nod.
Yeah, we'll circle back to this.
Yeah.
We will.
Yeah. This is for later because these boys will go crazy if we learn this.
Exactly. I think it is best for the boys not to know right now that that's kind of the brain case we're dealing with.
Yeah.
Right.
I think Irvin kind of rubs his hands and kind of brushes just nothing off his coat as he gets out of the shock a little bit. He said, what I can do is I can stay here. I can talk to the council at Mithron, let them know that you all are working on fixing the pain instability, which should fix everything that's happening in the world. Or maybe I can get money for you when you come back. If that would be good for you guys.
We can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And you have the face now of the person that's left of the heart.
I'm so sorry. I was looking at my spells. What?
It was Simmon who saw that, right?
Was it?
Simmon, you saw who saw him kill the heart? It was Simmon. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
it was
he
me?
6. Yeah, you were 6.
Yes. Blood, bodies, hatred, and fears. Speaking life to ground, birthing vines. That's what that was.
That's what that was. You have that person's face, so.
Oh yeah! I take it out and I whip it out. I whip out his face.
I can send their face.
What? Do we get new things?
Yeah, you can see what this person looks like.
Show me.
I cast Encode Thoughts 4 times or 3 times. 4 times for Luna too. One for each of us.
Hi.
No.
Yeah, you see this orcish individual with a slight bang situation that kind of covers half of their face. few scars, the frostbite. Their hair is pulled back into a little bun, and they have braids on either side of their face. And they're wearing what looks to be sort of ceremonial robes.
Okay, so then this is who we're after?
Yeah, I don't remember the name, unfortunately. But you have a face, and I think that's all that sending needs.
Oh, you want us to send to the fella?
Well, I mean, if you're trying to find them,
I mean,
I
yeah,
don't know.
How are we gonna explain how we know where they are if we can't say that name? We got your almost murderer's brain.
Oh, I don't know.
I think that it's perfectly reasonable to be a little bit ominous and not really give a lot of information and just say, hello, we are an adventuring party and we need to meet with you. The fate of the world hangs in the balance, and we don't feel comfortable disclosing much information over sending that could be intercepted. So please tell us where you are or where we can meet you. Thank you.
I do.
I've got sending actually. Okay.
I do.
I know I don't, because I don't think it's a cleric spell. I don't think I can get it if I want it.
Rank him
I
up.
think it is a cleric spell, but
Really?
I'm pretty sure.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Algie has it.
You got it,
Algie,
Algie.
phone him up.
Sorry, I was trying to make sure it was in the 25 words.
Yeah. I wasn't counting words. I was just gonna let somebody else take.
I know, that's why I knew that I would probably have to be the one to do the setting, so I immediately started counting out the words.
You're so smart.
I am. Algernon is gonna go, hello. We are an adventuring party who needs to meet with you. The world hangs in the balance. Where are you located? Sincerely, Algernon Hart.
I think that's reasonable. It's
Yeah.
confusing and weird and ominous and unsettling. However,
But I also figured putting my name in there would make it less like we're coming to kill you. Because why the
Less
fuck would
weird.
someone who's coming to kill you give them your name?
Using good old word counter.
Hell yeah.
word counter. I hardly know her.
Any words on my counter till I hardly know her. I'm glad I got a Henry laugh from that. That's my imitation of a Henry laugh.
Yeah.
You get a response.
No, I just
No, yeah.
No, you go. This is not funny. Please go on. God, I love you.
You get back. Hello, Algernon. I know. You can find me where the river crosses the ethereal at the base of the nests. I will be armed.
Jesus fucking Christ! I don't
Listen,
want to
that's
meet
a
him
reasonable
anymore.
response, okay? However, it
That is a
did
reasonable
make
response.
me want to crawl out of my skin because I'm so scared of this guy.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking scared right now.
I relay this.
Yeah,
Oh my
And
this
I
guy.
do my best impression as well. I go, hello, Algernon.
Why is your voice like
You
that?
sound odd. Do you have a cold?
No, that was me doing my best
That was
impression
weird.
of the voice that
That
was
was
in
a
my
weird
brain.
thing to do.
Because
Oh.
What was a Simmon? What was a weird thing to do?
That voice.
Oh, I thought you were saying his response.
The response of being armed, that's actually quite reasonable.
No,
That's
being
so
on this
reasonable,
person.
and Luna says that's so reasonable, and then goes to point at Irvin, and then like moves her hand to like her hip, like she didn't just go to point at Irvin.
I love her.
She's not wrong. Anyway,
Exactly.
we're splitting off from Irvin at this point, right?
Yes.
Okay, would you let me do a little bit of spell fuckery?
Always.
I'm really worried about him. So,
Uh-huh.
I can cast Guardian of Faith.
Uh-huh.
And I was wondering, I could leave. It only lasts 8 hours, but I was wondering if I could leave a Guardian of Faith with Irvin.
Mhm.
And then they could just like kind of follow him around like a bodyguard all the time.
Uh-huh.
And then if anyone tries to kidnap or attack Irvin, they will get attacked by my Guardian of Faith.
You know what? I'll do you one better.
Uh-huh.
Your Guardian of Faith is
Uh-huh.
Lynn.
It's just Lynn!
It's
My
Lynn.
Yeah.
What?
therapist shows up.
I mean, she's employed by your dad.
That's true. I just cast Summon Therapist. This is my 4th level spell, Summon Therapist.
She guards your mental health.
I cast
Well-
Guardian of Faith, expecting. I don't remember what really great pun I made for my Guardian of Faith last time, and that's actually really disappointing.
I don't remember either.
Oh, sorry, it was Flame the Rock Johnson.
Oh, yes. This time it's Lynn.
Yeah, I'm expecting Flame the Rock Johnson to show up, and then Lynn is there, and I'm like, oh, this is even better. Hello, Lynn. And I just I pull her aside.
Yeah.
Would you mind, terribly looking after my friend Irvin? I really feel like he needs someone to talk to, and also someone to make sure he's not kidnapped or murdered. Just for about 8 hours, the length of this spell.
I can do both of those, no problem.
Oh, you would be such a huge help. I appreciate you greatly. Thank you so much.
Of course, it's all on your father's money, so it doesn't really matter to me.
I know, it's great. And I just call, Irvin, my therapist is going to take care of you while we're gone.
So, he's just like, cool. Oh, I guess now I'm forced to be in therapy while you are gone.
An 8-hour therapy.
An 8-hour therapy session. I can't believe Celeste just summoned someone so I can't kill myself.
Literally.
You put him in an 8-hour cycle. That's what I did.
You sent him.
That's reasonable.
That is reasonable.
Everything I know, I think it's reasonable to put him in an 8-hour cycle.
Yeah, I think this is the most reasonable thing we've ever done.
The energy of your Guardian of Faith when you casted it was like, I need to protect this man from other people and himself. And that's why Lynn answered the call.
That's so perfect. That's worth a 4th level spell slot, no doubt.
Yeah,
Right.
she'll walk over to him, and then she kind of looks around and she's like, "We are still in your hut."
Oh, yes. Oh, I'm so sorry. Everyone out of the hut. Back into the library as inconspicuously as possible, please. I peek out the door to see if anybody's looking.
No one seems to notice. You did a really good
I'll
disguise.
scooch out of the hut.
Lynn shrinks herself to be like a normal sized tiefling.
That's reasonable. Yeah, and then I will dismiss my tiny hut, and the door goes away, and the Magnus Archives gets another statement from somebody who sees that.
It's a Kenku, and it's all in other people's words, and it's really hard to figure out what they're trying to say.
You know the canonical Magnus Archives in this podcast.
It's just a bunch of conspiracy theorists that went to Simmons College. Magnus.
Were we a
Magnus
club?
and Archives. One of them is a fucking. You were a club, but it was run by Magnus and Archives.
I like that.
Yeah, and actually,
Is
Magnus
Archives
is
a
the
Warforged?
Warforged, funnily enough.
Archives
is
is
a
just.
transgender.
Beautiful.
I was gonna
love
say
it.
Archives is a non-binary person.
Yeah, he's also a librarian. It's kind of funny.
I love these gay people.
Yeah, they're in love. It's beautiful. Anyway.
This is hey.
What?
And I was third wheeling.
Why are
We were
you
there
giving
three
away
rules of the club.
season 2? Why are you telling everyone season 2?
Yeah, why are we telling everyone
Simmon is still there.
about everyone's characters? Magnus, Archives, and Simmon.
But this time Elliot's gonna be playing Simmon.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wanted to play Simmon. I thought I was going to be Simmons.
Simmon.
Anyway, yeah, you summon Lynn. She goes off with Irvin. You guys say your goodbyes.
Can I give Irvin a hug? I would really like to.
Yeah,
I
you
also
can
want to
give
give
him a
Irvin a hug.
He gives you both a hug.
I gave Irvin a therapist. I think
Yeah, you're fine.
I trust him. I'm still not on hugging level with him.
Yeah, he gives you a hug. It's not a very long hug, but he gives you a hug.
I pat him on the shoulder.
Lynn is watching this interaction like a hawk.
Just take care of yourself, yeah?
Yeah, sure. Insight check?
Alright, we'll... Huh?
Insight check?
Oh lord. I don't like that. Another 8, actually.
Yeah, he'll take care of himself.
Alright.
Algernon just hugs him.
You all stay safe.
Safe as life.
Why do you always sound like you're telling a lie?
Oh no, man. It's my voice.
Most of
Scott.
us here have never cried before. Simmon.
Cute, this fucking
I didn't
sitcom
even
ending
we were
song.
in a big time rush.
Uh,
Oh.